Welcome to Watches with Dennis, and today I want to talk about a new Omega release that would be the Seamaster Planet Ocean 600M Dark Gray GMT. As usual, let's go ahead and get some specifications out of the way. This watch is 45.5 millimeters in diameter, has a thickness of 17.4 millimeters, a lug-to-lug distance of 51.5 millimeters, a lug width of 22 millimeters, and 600 meters of water resistance. The case is made of silicon nitride ceramic, which has put its weight at roughly 107 grams. And I'm noting that because that's significantly less weight than the traditional ceramic formulas that Omega has used. Which, for example, the Planet Ocean Casamigos, which size-wise is identical but uses a different form of ceramic, comes in at 140 grams, meaning this has a savings of approximately 33 grams in weight. The watch features a unidirectional 60-minute scale bezel, sapphire crystals for both the front and the back, a helium escape valve at the 10 o'clock position, and unsurprisingly for a dive watch, a screw-down crown. The dial is a complementary gray to the case, but in the case of the dial, it is not ceramic, but instead titanium. It features a frosted texture with applied 12, 6, and 9 Arabic numerals, a date window at the 3 o'clock position, a center seconds, and a GMT hand, as the name of the watch would suggest. The GMT functionality is that of the flyer style, and there is a 24-hour inner bezel designed for you to be able to keep track of the second time zone. The watch is powered by the Co-Axial caliber 8906. Functionally, the movement isn't really different than what we're used to seeing in the Planet Ocean to my knowledge, but the main difference is the bridges and plates are actually made from a grade 5 titanium, further contributing to the watch's decrease in weight versus prior iterations. But this movement is METIS certified, beats at 3.5 Hz, is resistant to magnetic fields reaching 15,000 Gauss, and offers approximately 60 hours of power reserve. The watch comes on a rubber strap with a titanium folding clasp. The watch is priced on Omega's website at $22,200 US. So what are my overall thoughts on this watch? Visually, I think the package is very well put together. I have to admit, I've been a fan of the look of many of the Planet Oceans for quite a while now. I think the darker gray tones of the ceramic case and the bezel insert transitioning to the more frosted look of the titanium dial complement really well, as do the orange highlights and generously applied lume on the hands and indices. Obviously, helium escape valve is a love it or hate it sort of thing, or maybe you're like me and you kind of learn to live with it and see it as a big part of much of Omega's Seamaster DNA at this stage. But my problem with the Planet Oceans has always been how large they are. For me, I've always avoided the Planet Ocean line simply because the watches tend to wear very large. 45.5 millimeters in diameter just doesn't work well for me versus, say, the 300Ms. But where I think even people with larger wrists might balk at this watch is the same problem that some of the other versions of the Planet Ocean have, and that is it is an incredibly thick watch. And while I think a lot of people are far more forgiving of thickness when it comes to dive watches, I know I am, 17.4 millimeters is extremely thick. And so while I think from the top down this watch looks great, when you start seeing it from the side, it looks very, very bulky. So while this new configuration in terms of ceramic material helps quite a bit in the realm of weight, I still think the watch ends up being fairly ungainly unless you're only wearing it for actual professional diving purposes. Of course, your mileage may vary, but we've seen this sort of thing crop up in other watches, and I can't help but think about the Longines Spirit Flyback chronograph, which we've recently spoken about on this channel, also involving titanium, and also coming in at 17 millimeters of thickness. I think given the fact that Omega didn't slim this watch down, but definitely beefed up the price point in order to get in on this new formulation of ceramic, that this watch is not going to be flying off the shelves for them. Granted, I'm not sure any Planet Oceans really do. I think it's a subcategory of the Seamaster that's been due for a makeover for quite a while. And when I first saw this watch announced, I thought maybe this was going to be that sort of approach, but it's just another reformulation. And I do think that $22,000+ price point is very much worth noting. The relatively new Yachtmaster from Rolex in RLX titanium, which granted is not ceramic, but is a much lighter weight version of what was otherwise their traditional Yachtmaster, coming in at a easier to wear 42 millimeters, is only retail $14,050, or over $8,000 less than what this Omega is asking for. But those are my thoughts. I'd love to know yours. What do you think of this new Omega Planet Ocean in the dark gray? Are you interested in the new formulation of ceramic? Is the new weight going to be enough to push you over? Have you been someone who's been desiring a Planet Ocean, but the heft of it has been what's putting you off? Are you someone who gets Planet Oceans or owns a Planet Ocean? And if so, I'd like to know kind of what you think about this model versus the model you happen to have. So feel free to leave those comments. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a like. If you want to be notified when I have new videos, click the subscribe button. If you'd like to support the channel further, there's a link in the description to my 99-cent a month club, and also an invite to a Discord channel if you'd like to chat further about watches beyond the limitations of YouTube. That's it for this one. Take care, everybody. I hope you have a great day.